So hello guys. Kind of looking back, I wanted to cover a little bit more about number two and then talk about number three, because I think number four is a very big topic, especially something that I have a lot to say on. Um, Another thing I wanted to mention about types of degrees and majors available in the college is a lot of times people want to study something that's like relatively new. For example, as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to possibly do sustainable studies in the College of Liberal Arts at UT. But when I was doing my research, I discovered that they had recently taken on a degree. So that means they were barely kickstarting it, and it wasn't essentially something they were particularly good at the moment because they had just taken on that major. And so the university that you're planning on applying to, make sure that it has some experience with your degree, because then that will mean that they have study abroad programs. That means they would have like research opportunities. And yeah, so basically just really look into, I can't stress this enough, because you don't want to go to university just because it's like prestigious and it's famous. You want to go because it's good at the degree that you're doing, or sorry, the major that you're doing. um a lot of times what happens is like people get too caught up in the moment, like, oh, I want to go to this university because it's really like the number one in the state or whatever. But make sure it's actually good at what you're doing, because in the end that's what matters. Like sometimes they say it's not the university that makes that it's not the university's prestige that makes us famous, it's the students who go to it. So it's not essentially the university that you go to that really matters, it's what you do when you're inside. How much you get involved, the grades that you get, that really defines your opportunity to get into a graduate program if you're considering going into law or medical school. So really make sure that it has some experience in your major, and it has opportunities in it. Another thing that I wanted to mention is also, when you're looking at the universities that you want to apply to, I, in the very least, would choose 10 universities to apply to. It really just depends on you, I guess. But I applied to 10 universities, and I feel like it really did give me a variety of options to choose from when it came time to decide what university I was going to. Like some people, they may have only applied to three, so they really limited their ability to choose a university. Like, what if they didn't like either financial offer from all three of them? So yeah, give yourself like room to decide, and apply to more than just. I mean, I would say at least five. Like how they tell us. Oh Jesus, I forgot already. Uh, Choose your dream school, your right fit school, and your like other school. I forgot what that was called. I don't know. I'll mention that again in the recap video. But yeah, choose a variety of schools. I'll talk more about like the possibilities of getting into some of them. So that's coming down later. But just wanted to make sure, throw that out there. You should choose more than one university, so you don't have to like settle for just one. Um, Obviously that's gonna be kind of harder to do because you have to like fill applications for all of them and keep track of all of them. But I think in the end it really matters. But yeah, I'll talk more about that later. So number three is location. I don't know, but to me this is probably like one of the most important ones, and it may not be to you. But when I went to Baylor University for a trip with the school, I really liked the university, how it looked. But to me, it seemed like it was in the middle of nowhere. I know Waco is like a city and all, but I really like being close proximity to stores, and just kind of like where the action happens, like the city, you know? So if you're a person who likes going out a lot on the weekends, you probably won't be good at a university who is stuck in the middle of nowhere. I just wanted to give some examples, like if you really love like going out and seeing stuff and like, you know, like a university like NYU, New York University, it's right in the middle of New York, so I'll probably be really good for someone who is really into that type of stuff. Um, University of Texas at Austin, it's in the city of Austin, it's so beautiful. So, but then you may also want to go to kind of a rural kind of community, like SFA is in Nacogdoches, and not essentially in the middle of nowhere, but it's kind of like um, surrounded by like forest, and a lot of people really like that type of stuff. The university I'm going to, it's in Hamilton, New York. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, um, but it's somewhat relatively close to some cities like Syracuse and Utica and New York City. So yeah, just consider the university's location. I may talk a little bit more about that later on, but that'll be the end of this video.